it's all
Is that
tied
one of
down,
them
so.
viewed ones? My wife
This
got
is like the inside of a different colon.
my wife
You
got
know what I
me.
mean, like the liner part?
My wife just got me a vest that's just like that. It's the same liner, in it, but the zippers are like a woman's jacket. It was from Demon. So I'm like, the zippers backwards, but it's got the heated and it's got that shiny inside. I turned that thing on. I just turned it on medium while I was sitting hunting. I had to turn the damn thing off because it was burning.
It's heated? Oh,
Jeff is manning the front door, so let everybody in who comes. We can't unlock because there's no power.
I was wondering why the door was open.
This is the one day of the year too that I didn't bring my extra set of keys that has the chock to keep them open. Because I thought, oh, I won't need that.
Both of them said
It's-
they're gonna be late because of the closed.
Yeah, I bet they both, Jenny would be coming down Highway K.
Sure.
and- Or not K, 76.
Yeah.
They're having a 4-H meeting at 6:30.
They're there,
Well,
Yeah.
that accident got us.
yeah.
We should probably make sure.
I
they
got
have
there
access
just
to
as
the
they
building.
closed the intersection, I had to backtrack.
They
Yeah.
usually do it in the gym.
That's not open, none of the doors are open though, because they're all auto lock. I could have Jeff stop the door down there.
It's propped open.
I kept it open.
No, the one down by the atrium, because there's a 4-H meeting at 6.
6:30.
6:30? We could probably, someone on the way out from here maybe could prop it, you wait a little bit.
What time do you think they're coming?
Maybe 6 o'clock-ish?
I'll just do it now so I don't.
Okay, perfect. There's stuff you can jam in the door down there. We're not following a lot of safety protocols.
Okay,
5 miles closed here at 76.
Yeah, there was an rollover accident.
That's why we're out of power. Well,
Yep.
Here too.
we were out of power.
We are,
We got out of power.
we are also live, just in case anyone wants to know.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you.
Live from New York on Saturday night. You're welcome.
Yay.
is this generator power or is this power?
This is generator power.
Okay.
Backup. So we have heat, we have lights, we have limited water. Not a lot of people in the building right now, so we should be okay.
Okay,
It's not like the other day when we had 300 kids that had to go to the bathroom all at the same time.
No,
And there you go.
Once you tell them that the bathroom's not working, they all have to go.
yeah, 2
Yeah.
flushes. Okay.
all right, let's get this show on the road. This is the Raymond School District Number 14's Board of Education workshop. And we are, our mission statement is empowering all students by nurturing a culture of academic excellence, igniting curiosity, and cultivating perseverance within a supportive community. This meeting is called to order. It is 5:37. And please rise and say the pledge of allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Mike, will you do roll call?
Certainly. Ed Robinson,
Yep.
Jenny Gonzalez,
Yep.
Mike Bowers.
Yep.
Audrey Costick.
Here.
Keith Castenson.
Here.
Also present myself, business manager, Mr. Genovese, and village president Doug White.
Okay, thank you. Verification of public notice pursuant to 19.841 Wisconsin statutes.
The meeting was posted in all the usual spots, schoolhouse doors, village doors, e-vergent, online, and media were notified. However, there are no media physically present.
Okay. So we go on to the meat of the meeting, and I guess we will, has everyone met Doug?
I'm not that fast. Doug,
That's
I'm
it.
Ed Robinson.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Jenny Gonzalez.
I've seen you.
Yeah, I've seen you.
We
Yeah.
met?
Yeah. And I know this guy.
No
Yeah,
hair.
Doug had reached out to me to just open up lines of communication, and I thought, why make another meeting before and then have people have to come to yet another meeting? I know that some of us are busy, but Keith, you're double stacked half the time, so we figured why not twofer on this one. So thank you for coming tonight. The workshop is really once a month for us to give the board a chance to talk about topics that are sort of burning, pressing, things we want to discuss. And so definitely the village is something we wanted to connect with. So thank you for coming tonight and just sharing some sentiments, and then we'll have some discussion and kind of share our strategic plan with you too. Unfortunately, we can't cast anything because there's no power, but I can certainly post your presentation if you're willing, and
Yeah, we can do that, I'll send it to you.
perfect, thank you.
Yeah, so I want to start out, perception's a funny thing. I was at the Stackner Theater up there in Milwaukee last year, and it's a dinner theater, so I'm sitting around, and there's people you don't know. So they asked me, where are you from? I said, Raymond, and I could lean back, Raymond. Oh yeah, your school sucks. And I said, well, I know they've got some problems, and I know they're trying to work through them. And then I've been meeting with a lot of builders, and you'll hear why here in just a minute. And one of them grew up in Raymond. I met him up there at the Village Hall, and he said, yeah, I grew up here, and we really wanted to move back here, but that school the way it is, we moved to Caledonia. And then I read last week that you're the only 5-star school in Racine County, right? So perception's a funny thing, and it's affecting this entire village. And that's part of the underlying piece of this presentation. So this presentation is, I title it, and I use this with builders, I use it with anybody that'll meet with me. I call it Embracing the Future to Maintain the Present, right? And I'll explain that in a little more detail in just a minute. All right, so I always start my presentations telling people what I'm going to tell them. So what I'm going to tell you guys is, as a village, what we are doing is unsustainable, and I'll explain why. I'll detail why that's the case. At the same time, we have an incredibly unique opportunity ahead of us, but we're going to need to make some bold moves as a village. So I'll tell you what our current future is, and then we're going to explain to you what the alternative future could potentially be if we can get behind our opportunities. So, foundational message. Look, I totally respect the past, love it out here. But if we don't embrace the future, we're going to become a relic of the past. And to be clear, I'm not looking to raise anybody's taxes, and you'll read that, get your tax bill next week and read my message from the president. In fact, it's just the opposite. I'm trying to maintain what we have without raising your taxes. So just a few facts, and you guys probably don't know this, a few facts and challenges. We were officially established as a village in 1846, so we predate the state. It was by declaration of James Polk. We actually have the document up at City Hall, the Village Hall, that he signed. One of our residents was cleaning out their basement, and they found it, and they gave it to the village. 36 square miles, 4,000 residents, you can do that math. But we've only added 75 residents in the last 5 years. That's it, 75 new people into the village over the last 5 years. We switched from a town to a village in 2019, taking advantage of Foxconn coming in, which was great, but that also means we need to provide more services as a village than we do as a town. As a town, you rely on the county for like ordinance violations and all that kind of stuff. We don't have to do all that on our own. It's all increased cost. We're also responsible for 55 miles of road now. We used to be 56, but we abdicated Furman Drive down there on Highway K. There's Milwaukee Motorsports putting something in down there, which is going to be very nice. We have an aging fire and EMS department that's struggling to find volunteers. A lot of small towns and villages outsource that. But we're responsible for the interstate, both sides, which is insane. I called the president of Caledonia. I said, look, you got a full-time department up there. I'm deathly afraid that somebody's going to die up there because we can't get there in time, and your guys are sitting in their station. He said, I don't want anything to do with it. So, and it's all an imaginary line. It's just an imaginary line, right? I mean, that line falls on our side, so.
North and south side?
North and south side down to 20, and then south side from 20 to,
3 mile.
3 miles.
Then Union Grove, Yorkville gets it from 3 mile down
Right.
past 20. But we're usually mutual aid to them, they're mutual aid to us.
I had this in here that the elementary school is facing significant financial challenges. Also, our 4th of July festival, for any of you that go to the 4th of July festival, it's going to go away. They can't get volunteers. They can't get any money. Terry told me he's got 2 years left. The price of just the fireworks alone went up from $20,000 for that half hour to $40,000 last year. Went up over the last 3 years, doubled. But I keep hearing this common statement: I want to be rural and I want low taxes, right? So here's some reality. when I got into office, I not only looked at our financials, I looked at all the financials for the surrounding communities to see how we stacked up against them. So we have the lowest millage rate for any village in the county at 11.4, and actually, that's for me. If you're in the North Cape, Waterford, you have the highest millage rate. So we're a little higher than the rest of the village. We also unfortunately have the 5th lowest total assessed property value in the county. So when the assessor comes out and does all this stuff and he adds it all up, we're about $900 million going into 2026 of assessed value. So, you generate your taxes based off the millage rate times the assessed value, and that's your total. The problem is we're in a slow death spiral because of levy limits. And I'm not criticizing Act 10 or anything else, but because our property values are going up so much, and we don't have much new construction, our millage rates goes down every year. So that means all new construction that comes in gets multiplied by the new lower millage rate. So we're not generating as much as we should be. And I'll get into more detail on that in just a minute. As I said, we do have a very unique opportunity. I'm going to get into that in just a minute. All right, so I know you guys can't see this, but these are the millage rates for all the municipalities in Racine County. So that one down the bottom there, that's us, 11.4.
Dover and who else is below?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Dover and who else is below that?
Norway.
So
see,
the rural communities.
Right, but Norway, they're both towns, and Norway has $1 million tax for EMS services.
They have what?
They have a separate $1 million tax
For EMS.
for just EMS services, which is why they can staff that Wind Lake place. So by contrast, the next closest village is Rochester, and they're at 13.86, 21% higher than us. Wind Point's at 23% higher than us. Yorkville's 23% higher. That means if you lived in any of those communities, your taxes would be 23% higher.
What about Caledonia?
Yeah, they're a beast.
Okay.
They're 1.6, 46% higher than us. But their total budget's $25 million a year, at 10 times ours. Our entire budget is $2.5 million for the village, of which we collect $1 million of that from taxes, from property taxes. And as that compares to the rest of the state, we're in the bottom 15% from a millage rate perspective in the state. So again, when you get the presentation, you'll be able to see this, but the amount we can raise taxes is based off of the new increased developments. In our case, it's 5 to 6 houses a year that get brought in. So last year, we were able to, going into this year, we were able to raise taxes $14,000 across the board. That's it. Right, so it's a $2.5 million budget with all the costs going up and roads to be paid. We can pay about 1 mile of road a year, and we have 55 miles of roads. So we literally, when we track this, we literally have roads that have not been repaved in 50 years. Like, you can see it just driving around, right? So $14,000 was it. We also at the same time had the lowest net new construction and the lowest year-over-year change in new construction, because it's all residential right now. You can take a look at this one. This is kind of an interesting graph, but when you get it, down the bottom there is us. This is equalized value. By contrast, the one at the top is Mount Pleasant. So as I mentioned, we got $900 million of total equalized value for 36 square miles, 4,000 residents. That one data center, the first of 3 data centers that Microsoft's put into Mount Pleasant, has added $1 billion of assessed value to Mount Pleasant. I've been in meetings with Mount Pleasant where they literally say, we just don't know what we're going to do with all the money we have. They literally said that in the meeting. Last year, Mount Pleasant added more equalized value than our entire village in 1 year. And Microsoft has committed another $7 billion to that. So right now, they're about 6 billion in people. I thought they were gonna double, so what they already have is gonna double just from Microsoft.
Did they not give them tax breaks or nothing?
The state did.
Oh, the state did.
Yeah, the state did.
Okay.
And you know, you remember that Foxconn was supposed to win there with 13,000
Right.
jobs.
Right.
My understanding is when we became a village, it was so we wouldn't get annexed by,
That's exactly right.
not because of Foxconn. It was so.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's how you got to
That's how,
become.
that's how they passed the law.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, in 2024, the board updated its land use map. And again, you can see this when you get it. But essentially what it says is, along the interstate, 1 mile in, so basically to 43rd Street, is either business park, commercial development, or high-density residential. The idea being that we would put the high-density residential on the back end towards the west, and that would serve as a buffer between the commercial and the interstate and the people that are there now. So what I'm trying to do, and with some of the board's help, is to leverage that opportunity that we have so we can maintain everything else west of 43rd Street, more or less the way it is, without raising anybody's taxes, right? I mean, we're talking about billions of dollars of potential increased equalized value. I mean, anywhere, I gotta be careful what I say, I was in discussions with people. We're talking significant investment, very, very significant investment that would provide to you guys multiple times increased taxes. Right now, I think you get collected about 3 billion, or 3 million, that would go well north of 10 million.
We'll take it.
Okay, but here's the problem.
What is it?
This is why I'm here. What would you do if all of a sudden you had 200 to 300 kids show up at your door? And I know you're importing from the other side of the interstate, and my research tells me that once you allow somebody on the other side of the interstate in, they're here for good. So if you allow them in as a kindergartner, they're here for 8 years. You can't kick them out to make room for somebody in our new high residential area, right?
Mhm.
So as you guys, and we're talking 5 to 10 year timeline for any of this stuff, right? 5 to 10 years, but you got to start planning, for this stuff,
So you're talking housing.
housing.
5 to 10
apartments.
years after you go ahead with it.
It's me selling
I
the
mean,
house.
how far away are you from even
I don't want apartments.
signing up for anything? I mean, you're probably
Yeah,
that
be
far
right across the
away.
street.
Water, sewer.
No.
Well, let me back up just a little bit. And again, you see the presentation. Milwaukee Sewer District has finally agreed and is in the process of bringing sewer down to us. They're gonna terminate that sewer in the spring of 2027, just on our side of the Root River. Which then means we can hook up to public sewer and change the entire complexity of that.
Oh, yeah,
frontage
that's
road.
right. At 43rd?
No, they're gonna come down to Furnish Road. They're coming down 27th Street.
Okay,
They're coming down 27th Street.
So this is start of sewer and water in Raymond.
right.
Right.
Okay, so it'll be right there by the,
It'd be right there by
I gotcha.
Vessel.
So say goodbye to all the farmers.
It'd be right there by Vessel. There's a farmer there.
Put sewer and water in through the village, you're gonna lose all the farmers.
No,
That sewer and water ain't ever getting out this way for, I'll be long gone before that ever happens.
well, and again, perception is a funny thing, right?
right.
Because you immediately jump to, we're gonna put water and sewer through all of Raymond. That is never gonna happen.
Never.
That's never, ever gonna happen. We're talking about putting water and sewer in the land use map in the first mile from the frontage road up to 43rd Street.
Right.
It's my house.
That's my house.
No, you're on the other side of,
Issue nationwide, but particularly in Racine County right now, because we got a lot of businesses coming in. We got a lot of people that need to be hired, and we got a lot of people who can't afford a house.
right.
So I've been working with the economic development people and others. We're talking about putting in houses that are $350,000 to $450,000 houses. They're just gonna be denser, right?
Yeah.
They're just gonna be dense. But think back to your first house, right? I mean, mine was on a third of an acre, right? And of course, it was a long time, it cost $70,000. Anyhow,
But this is gonna be apartment buildings.
No,
You're
no,
thinking.
No, high density.
no, it's high density. I shouldn't have said apartments.
It's like a,
we're trying to get these $350,000 to $450,000 affordable houses in there.
Are you thinking like subdivisions, like a?
Correct. Condos maybe, I don't
Mhm.
know. But that's where your kids are gonna come from,
Absolutely.
right? You're gonna have young families, you're gonna have lots of kids.
Well, I mean, to answer your question of what would we do if we had suddenly access to 100, 200, however many kids?
Right.
I think what we're looking for, every January, we bring our open enrollment numbers forward. So every January, we have to look at where we are with our current population, and we supplement our population with open enrollment. We decide how much or how little, and if there's a plan for expansion, and we know, and again, when I talked about smart growth with our last referendum, this would be an example of smart growth, where you're calculating the risk and you're saying, because Jeff, our business manager here, would tell you that the revenue that open enrollment brings in is something we can't just wipe out. But if we know with certainty over time that, yes, X number of families and kids will have access to housing and living here, I think that that's a risk that the board would have to calculate, but I'm sure we could figure out what that looks like.
Yeah,
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is, and again, we're 5 to 10 years out. Just that time for this stuff. So anyhow, we have some plans for the water and sewer. The first phase of that is from G up to the county line. So the sewer line is gonna run down, basically down the creek there or something. And we'll hook in. The problem is, are you guys familiar with TID districts?
Yep,
With what?
TID districts?
TID districts,
Okay, so,
Taxing.
yeah, it's a tax incentive district.
Oh, yes.
There's
and they give incentives to be able to repair your home.
There's a lot of those throughout the state. There's 56 of them in Racine County right now. In order for us to do this first phase of water and sewer, it's a $27 million price tag. That is the maximum amount we can borrow as a village. And it just puts us, under that. So we're doing all kinds of modeling. And the reason I'm meeting with all these builders and developers is we need to get some anchor tenants to commit to be in there to help pay for this, right? Because $27 million is a big number, and it's a $2.5 million budget. At the same time, it's a big number because we're at 11.4 on our mill rate. So all that new construction that goes in gets taxed at a lower mill rate. So here's what I need. As a village resident, I need people to be informed. Because we need people to get involved, and we gotta end this mob rules. Every time something's gonna go in up there, Raymond Heights shows up, 200 people, they start yelling and screaming like the world's gonna come to an end. The board caves, and we go back to the cave or whatever. But everybody west of 43rd that I've talked to, look, we need the tax money.
Not everyone.
But they don't show up at the meetings and express, the advantages of adding $10+ million a year of money to your school, right? And that might be on the conservative side, quite honestly. But if we sit here and just let truck parking go in up there, or pretend we're gonna stay rural forever, then we're gonna get annexed. We're gonna get annexed into Caledonia, and your taxes are gonna go up 36%. Because we cannot keep doing what we're doing. Every year we go backwards. Every year we go backwards. And we can't raise taxes, nor do I want to raise taxes on the residents to fix it. But we have the golden goose. But I know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna come out with something that's gonna be game-changing, and I'm gonna have 50 people show up because they're not informed, they don't know all this information, they can't think out of the box, and the board will pay, because I'm only one vote, and he's only one vote. So, as a village board member, which I have one here, and fortunately supported one, I need that board to make decisions based on the village, the entire village. I just had this conversation in a closed session with one of our guys, who just wants to close his eyes and pretend, that it's just gonna be okay, but it's not. And as a school board member, you guys, I need to hopefully keep you guys up to date on what's going on, the plans. work with you guys so that you're not surprised. And it would be really nice if, when we get to the point that we're gonna have a public hearing about something going in up there, if some of you will at least show up and say, hey, we really, really need this to support, you know, the future of our kids, right?
Well, you're struggling as we're struggling, only you on a bigger scale than we are. Although, it all hurts,
Our budget's 7 million,
yeah.
so I'd say we're even larger scale than the $2.5 million budget.
But
they're
we
facing.
don't wanna take on a $23 million project just
No,
to get
no.
sewer and water.
Heavens, no.
And that's how it's gonna have to happen, I get it,
Well, that, or if I can get a developer to chip in, it would be huge, right? If I can get a developer to chip in to help pay for that,
go talk to Microsoft and have them buy a chunk on this side and call it a day.
no comment.
I don't wanna look out my window at it.
Well, see, that's part of the problem, quite honestly. Nobody wants to change a thing about their life, right? Everybody moves out here and they say, oh, I'm in the country now. Let me tell you what my version of the country is. I've got 2 people up on 7 Mile Road and 76th Street. It's the Hatfields and McCoys. If they had guns, they'd frickin' be shooting each other. And you know what it's over? The guy leaves his tractor outside. Their version of the country is they look over a field, they bought 5 acres, then somebody bought the 5 acres behind them and they put up a house, and that wasn't what they wanted.
You're never gonna satisfy 100% of the people, 100% of the time. It isn't gonna happen.
As I told Keith, I don't have any friends in this village. I mean, I know my neighbor, we go out to eat dinner once in a while, but I could give it whatever, what anybody thinks. I'm gonna do what's right for this village as a whole.
Well,
I might not get voted back in, but.
people, probably don't buy into this annex business, but it is a reality. And if that does
Well,
happen,
it's a similar reality what we faced if the school district can't sustain funding and students,
right,
and we talk about being absorbed into Yorkville or being absorbed into Racine Unified or wherever, it's a similar concept. We can't continue to exist in a vacuum without the
Right.
proper funding.
right.
So that's why we're talking about referendum, I mean, locally here in the school side of things.
And that referendum wouldn't have to happen if what you're talking about, even if half of what you're talking about happened.
Well, we would need it in the immediate, because this would be 5 to 10 years.
Yes.
Can you explain where those tax dollars go in the TID?
Yeah, well, so what ends up happening, when you establish a TID, you establish it for up to 20 years. And what you do is it's property-based, so you outline certain properties. So let's just say we did everything from G to the county line up there. It would all be in our TID district. Our assessor would tell us what's the value of that property as it exists today, and that would be the baseline. And the taxes to all the entities that get taxes today will continue to get their tax dollars at that baseline rate. Everything that's incremental because property values have gone up because a business went in or whatever got put in, all that delta goes to pay for the TID. So you can pay it off early, you know, but you gotta have some anchors in there to pay it off. And once it's paid off, everybody goes back to the regular distribution of the entirety. So if the baseline is $10 and at the end it's $100 and you were getting $2 against 10, now you're getting 20. But it's a way for, it's exactly put in place for people like us who don't have the money to go do investments to enhance property values.
Has the village talked about getting a consultant or someone that has all this knowledge and background about doing what you're talking about doing so that?
Well, the answer is we can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
The second thing is that I'm in contact with the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and they have programs for villages and towns to do that kind of analysis. And they basically get the kids and the professors to do it, they get credit for it, and they look at the impact of the schools, to the fire department, to the infrastructure, to future calls. They basically build a town. They build a town from the ground up based on the situation.
Right.
So that's the best we can do, and that's costing us $10 million, if they take the project up.
So that's a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, everything takes time. I
You
get it.
said from G north to the county line road,
Yeah.
Yes.
so that would not affect you.
Not to start, but it'll go right down. 'cause it's gonna go. the
Mike,
whole
might as well
interstate.
admit it, someday it's gonna happen. And
Yeah, but
nothing-
you're gonna get rid of a lot of the people who moved out here, a lot of the farmers, a lot of the families that have been out there their whole life, and they're gonna wanna go, they're gonna get away from it. That's
From
why
43rd to the freeway?
from even part of Raymond, you know, the farmers are seeing that the stuff is going away, and the farmers and the families that have been here are gonna say, we had enough of this and we're gone.
Well,
So
when there's
that's-
no road frontage left and every single road is 5 acre lot,
Yeah.
it's not a farm no
And
more.
that's, you know,
Hate to
not.
tell you.
yeah,
5
you know,
acre
the
lots
5 acre
with
lots are
250
killing us,
But there's not gonna be any road frontage left in Raymond,
you know?
absolutely
It's,
none.
You know,
Right.
the few that are left in this
So
5
how are you
acre
calling
life,
that farms then?
you know, and they're just killing everything out here. I mean, from someone that was born and raised here my whole life, and talking to everyone in the
I've
community,
been here.
and
Mike, west of 43rd,
it's gonna,
they're
it's gonna be
unaffected.
different.
You'll see,
They're unaffected.
you'll see in the.
I'm on
presentation-
43rd. I'm right in the middle of what he's talking about.
I know you are.
But what are
I'm
you
on
gonna
the
do?
other side.
But you're south of G.
It doesn't matter, it's gonna
Like you
be the
said,
whole
the
interstate.
future's gonna happen. And but it is what it is.
You know,
You're in between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Yep,
you know,
And by the way, that 6 miles of frontage that we have is the last land on the interstate that doesn't have water and sewer between Chicago and Milwaukee.
yep.
Really?
That section of the interstate is the last that does not have water and sewer.
Yeah. You can put up a fuss about this, but at the end of the day, something is going to happen. Somebody with a lot of money will go through and just buy up that whole section of property and do what they wanna do with it and leave the village out of it. So now is the time for the village to do something.
the few farmers that are left that have acreage,
Money talks.
you know,
I don't
so
know.
do people leaving your village.
Those farmers sold their Foxconn land pretty darn quick.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of them were forced to too.
Anyhow,
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's not for this
So
discussion.
the goal is really, I'm not from Raymond, so the goal is 1 mile west of the I up to 43rd.
Right.
Developing the sewer that would create enough movement for businesses to move in or other
Right.
sustainable things, some housing
right, and then maintain everything from 43rd west as it is.
as is. So that's kind of your gist of
Right.
building so that you can
Right.
maintain.
Why does it have to be, why does the high density have to be between 43rd and the freeway?
I wasn't on the land use map, and I wasn't on the board when that was approved. I know
I mean, if
I was
some,
not, I was on the,
you were on the
I
zoning.
was on the zoning one.
at that time, I get it. But I mean, if someone
Well,
wanted to
okay,
take and
the
develop
answer-
a
the
100-acre plot
Yeah, the answer
that's
to-
on a main highway,
Yeah.
whether it be Highway 76 or G,
Well, to be completely honest, they're trying to keep like the rest of Raymond the way it is.
I
This is a
understand.
way of going about it to do that, or otherwise, that's what it could be. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
yep. But only allow just certain areas, like if it's gotta be a main highway, because you don't want all that traffic on a rural road. But 76th Street, that's pretty busy, Highway G, pretty busy.
But if you can't, you could never do something real high density unless the sewer made it that far.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, it's impossible.
Yeah,
And the price of sewer to ever get it that far, I mean,
yeah, it's costing us $27 million.
But
just to get
could they do a
2
mound
miles.
and a well?
2 miles.
Yeah, and I should,
you
that's
still
water,
need,
that's
like,
water and sewer, so it's 13.
acre and a half or 2 acres to do all that, to have enough space.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, the way our zoning's written, you can have a 15,000 square foot lot as its smallest. But I've met with multiple residential developers now that have said it's not enough. They need 4 to 5 houses on an acre to make it work. And again, the only way you can do that is to have water and sewer. We'll never be able to afford it past 43rd. But we have an opportunity, we got a lot of land on that interstate that's open right now.
Are there any models of this, places around us that have done this?
Everybody's a little different, right? So, you know, the perfect model's Mount Pleasant, right? Because they got the,
That all fell in their lap.
yeah, they all fell in their lap, right? So, you know,
Actually nervous for a while.
what's
Yeah.
that?
You were nervous for a
Oh,
while.
but before Microsoft showed up, yeah, for sure. Caledonia's gonna they're gonna hook up to the water and sewer also, so they're gonna be on the other side of the interstate, so we'll be competing with them for
There'll be
some.
development there.
Right. You know, but
But
what's,
they're getting filled up
yeah,
pretty
they
quick
are.
with a lot of big industrial buildings.
They are, and, you know, again, but we have the advantage of having the lowest mill rate, so we're the most attractive, from a tax perspective for a business, we're the most attractive place to go. And some of the developers I'm talking to are reaching out to others to move out of Franklin, for example,
Sure.
because the taxes are so damn high up there. Anyhow, I just wanted to get you guys, you know, I need people to understand and be informed and not, and see the bigger picture, you know, and as Keith, he and I were talking after the last meeting, he says, you know, the only people that ever show up are the people with a complaint. 90% of the people are fine with it, but they don't show up, right? The 10% of the complaints show up and world's coming to an end. And
Well, we need the same thing from the village, though, that when someone says our district is terrible,
yeah,
now you know better, and I can certainly invite them in for a tour, have a conversation, because whatever they're hearing isn't true. You don't just get a 5-star rating for a school district on,
Yeah.
on being terrible.
yeah, no, I've been using that, same thing in this meeting.
Little bad publicity goes a long ways.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly
Right.
goes further
Always
than
in
good
the media.
publicity.
Oh, yeah, they're showing
And-
faster and faster.
But, you know, I'd like to think that that is all behind us.
We're moving forward. We've got challenges, though, and I feel like when we talked about smart growth, this definitely, when we talk about our strategic plan 3 to 5 years out, where do we see ourselves? We want to slowly grow and be more self-sustaining on our resident enrollment, if we can be. But again, how does that happen?
Yeah, so I'm trying to triangulate a bunch of different things, right? You guys need kids. The county needs these $350,000 to $450,000 houses. We all need the tax revenue.
Yeah, you're not gonna get people,
And we need funds for, fire department and
Right.
EMS,
Yeah.
because that is a major, major problem.
It is a major, major problem.
Yes.
And the only way to fix it is tax dollars or to do what Dover did.
but that isn't cheap either, is it?
Well, no, because it's a referendum that's continuous. I mean, you get a referendum like that continuous, a referendum with the school that's continuous, your tax dollars are going up, it doesn't matter what the
Right.
levy limit.
There's two ways to approach it.
Yes.
Yep, tax
You either
everybody
get people to
more
help you pay for
heavily.
your taxes, or all of us are gonna be paying for it.
Right.
Because when no one ever wants to, I mean, I'm not a volunteer neither for the fire department, but there is none.
Yeah, I don't think they've had a new volunteer in 5 years.
There was
How many?
a couple and they left right away.
Yeah. So we haven't,
Right.
we haven't had one.
No,
So they went to this paid on premise concept where they opened up part-time slots during the day for other firefighters in the area, took them in and be staff, you know, and sit in our fire department and wait for the bell to go off, right? Well, they're not showing up.
you know, I think part of not only us, but you as well,
They're being
you have to say, hey,
realistic
if we
to
do
their
nothing,
station because
this
they're
is
not
where we're headed.
firefighters.
You're looking at referendum, a yearly referendum, so your taxes are gonna go up. We're in the same position.
If not our school district, then definitely police and fire, yeah.
Yeah, and the police and fire, I mean, these are all the things that can happen if we do nothing. Do we as a community want to do something, be a little proactive, have control of our destiny?
Right.
Or someone's gonna take us over and annex us,
Yeah.
and now you have no control.
So, well said. And that's exactly, sums it up. The problem is I can't get anybody like that to show up and support things. You know, all we get is people complaining about something.
Well, it's easier to complain.
Yeah, it is, but it's also not helpful.
It's frustrating.
I could care less, you know. I live all the way to the side of the village, you know. Nothing bothers me down there. Oh, yeah, so I appreciate the time and, you know, again, just to be informational and just plant some seeds and see if they grow. And if something comes up where we're gonna have some movement, I'll come back and tell you guys.
How's the village handling this? I mean, do you have a special committee set up
No,
that people can get on, or
right now, it's just a board. It's just a board.
the planning commission be a part of that?
They will be at the time that somebody comes in to say, hey, I want to do this, or I want to do that. Right now, all I have is a vision, for lack of a better term. I don't have anybody I've been using this term a lot, we got a lot of people kicking tires right now. You know, they kind of interested, but nobody's,
Do you need a special commission to to focus on it a little more? I mean,
You know, I'll keep that in mind. I don't think so. I mean, I'm just meeting with,
because you need positive people to do that.
yeah, you
Right?
do.
That have a reasonable
Yeah.
amount of,
Yeah, I mean, for
the
example,
ability to reason.
I'm meeting with, you guys know what the Milwaukee Seven is? It's a group of 7 business leaders that go after regional development for southeast Wisconsin. Very high-powered people in southeast Wisconsin. So I'm meeting with their representative and the Racine Economic Development representative this Friday, just to talk through this and see what kind of interest we.
State doesn't participate in any of
They
this?
will eventually, yeah, they will. I mean, they drove Foxconn, the state did. They will
That
eventually.
won't happen for a while.
But, you know, we're not even on the, right now, we're barely on the radar.
I was gonna say, we're not even.
Yeah, we're barely on the radar, but once we get somebody to come in and say, hey, I'm in Raymond, you know, it'll start to snowball.
All you need is one big one right up there on the north end, and
Yeah.
that would be,
Yeah, and our, you know, our other big problem is, we've got Manheim Auto Auction, a big 100-acre parking lot,
yeah,
and we've got 7 Mile Fair, you know, 75-acre lot. And I've met with Scott Niles, 7 Mile Fair, and he's interested in selling some of his land, he owns a lot of land,
yeah.
but he's not interested in 7 Mile Fair just yet.
His land will be finalized December 5th.
Okay. And Manheim Auto Auction has said that they don't want to sell at market, so I don't know what that means. A broker reached out to them.
But you got a lot of land right there just below County Line Road and 43rd, and that's a big field just north of the river.
Yeah, there's a fair amount in there.
There's a fair amount in there,
That's,
fair amount south of the
what's his
river,
name's land?
from like 7 Mile. Yeah, but you got, like you said, Manheim.
And it's the first phase, right? If we can get the first phase going, then we can look bigger and broader and keep going.
That's his field.
But I gotta get that anchor in there somehow. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah,
Hopefully that was helpful to you guys, you know,
I didn't realize.
plant some seeds. Next time I have a listening session, please come out. I had 2 listening sessions last summer. I had 12 people, and one of them was my wife.
Didn't hear about it.
We feel your pain.
Yeah, you know, that's a problem. We post it on the website, and we're not very good with communications, and it's something I'm trying to get to more of a push model than a pull model.
This is, I'm flying here.
So
One of the things that the PTO is gonna help us with is put up a digital sign out in front of the
Yeah.
school.
Right.
And then we're wondering if the village wants to participate in that anyway, so that we could put village messages on there as well. Because we get a lot of traffic through here,
Yeah,
right?
That's a thought. I can take it to the board.
We can also do promotion through our social media for Village, you know, when there's a meeting.
Okay.
Let us know, and we can certainly push it out.
So we've been advised not to go on social media as a village because of the potential legal issues. If somebody posts something out there that, you know, we don't agree with, and we have to respond to
Yeah.
it. And
Our post would literally just be meeting tonight.
Information.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't comment.
Yeah,
or
you lock it down
Right.
for comment, there's no comment needed.
Okay, well, that's, I'll do.
No, very safe lockdown, and we've had to exist in that space too, because unfortunately, social media, while very beneficial and powerful, it can also be a
A
huge
detriment,
pain.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't, I'm just looking at, I'm not on Facebook, so
Sure,
I guys.
but if
Me
we,
neither.
It's a double
we talk
edged
with Barb too, and we can certainly, if she has needs for us
Quickest
to
thing,
promote,
quickest way to wreck
Yeah.
a
you know,
family.
or,
Okay.
you know, be efficient with our communications.
By the way, did they talk to you about being the backup site for our elections?
Yes,
Okay, good.
well, not extensively, but yes.
Yeah, okay. I know where else we would go, but go to Keith's house, would be nice.
Mhm.
Keith's for.
That's it.
Put it by the chicken feet.
All right, so, let's keep in contact,
Yes,
and
That'd be a
if anything
good
happens
sales thing.
significant, we'll let
if you
you know.
could share this with us,
I'll send that to you, and you can redistribute it.
yeah, we will push it
We'll also
out.
I post all these on the website,
Yeah, there's no
All right.
secret, yeah.
and that's another thing, we gotta update our website, you know, I mean, our website's 1980s. I had him take the picture of the creepy guy walking off with the Girl Scout into the woods.
Our gal here that does, our website, I'm so impressed with how she has
Mhm.
taken that on and just, it's full of information. Where we had nothing,
Yeah.
it is
It's come-
wonderful.
It's come a long way. for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, but again, we're working on such a limited budget that, Our entire budget for the village hall to maintain it, to 30 grand for the year, for next year. And that's the HVAC. The building was built 50 years ago, you can see through the windows, to the window sills. You know, I mean, it's still.
We have some of the same
Still
issues.
fluorescent lights and, you know, I mean, it's functional, but
Focus on energy.
yeah, everything has a lifespan. All right.
The other issue is just like, cause if you go up north, if you ever notice, they have really nice fire departments, buildings, all that. But they get money from the state to build all that stuff, and we can't.
We can't?
No, because the value of everybody's houses is too high, so you don't get none of that.
That's
That's
just
how
like the
them
school help
communities
too.
up there get, exactly with the schools is the same way.
Yeah,
The equalized value, the
Yep.
equalization aid,
Yep.
yeah, for low,
So you
lower
can't,
value,
you can't get anything.
right.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean, every new house that goes in, that.
that's
they
the
buy a
great thing
five-acre
about
lot
Raymond,
for
right?
$400,000 and they put $1 million house on it. But we get 4 or 5 of those a year.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
Invite.
Doug, appreciate it.
You guys, anything else from me?
No,
Gotta go.
No, I think just whatever information you can share, we'll share the presentation and, just keeping the lines of communication open. And if you're ever hearing anybody say anything about our 5-star questioning,
Yeah,
please push them my way.
I will. All right, nice to meet all of you and.
Yep.
see you
Yeah,
again.
absolutely.
See you later, John.
So we kind of covered the connection to our strategic plan, which I
Yes.
mentioned. I took notes for those pieces. So I think those are the 2 pieces we had on our board agenda for tonight,
Okay.
for the workshop.
So we can adjourn.
yeah, sooner we get going, I gotta,
Yeah, I didn't get dinner tonight.
I'll make a
because
motion
we
to
didn't have-
adjourn.
I'll second.
We have
All
a
in favor?
motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
I,
Meeting adjourned 6:21.
Didn't have power, so I couldn't eat. So now I'll be going
Okay.
to go home.
Let me just turn off
I'm glad you brought him in.
stream.
Yes, I'm glad.
Thank you for coming in, Doug. We appreciate it.
When is your next village meeting?
The fourth Monday of every month.